Hi there, join me in this video when I'm at RSPB St Aidan's. Thanks for joining me in this video, it's great to see you again. Now today I'm at RSPB St Aidan's and it's the first time I've visited here. It's just outside Leeds and there are lots of signs everywhere of its industrial past because it used to be an open-faced coal mine. So this big bit of machinery here is a sign of what used to happen here on this site. It was recommended to me by Paul Miguel, so I can't go too far wrong because he definitely is an expert in the field and a fellow YouTuber. So come along with me because I know that I'm really going to enjoy my photography. So straight away you can see behind me, you get great access to the water here at St Aidan's. This lake here behind me is one of the big lakes right next to the car park and I'm stood right on the edge of it, which is quite unusual. Sometimes you're separated by quite a long distance from the water. Now there are some birds on the water, there are mainly mallard and coot, there are a few swans away in the distance, but this is great to get such good access to the water. I do want to take a little bit of time just to mention everybody that's commented on my latest video, which was me talking about why I enjoy my photography. What I'll do is I'll put a link to that in the end card, so go and watch that after you've watched this video. But I've had so many comments on people agreeing with my philosophy. They like my motto to enjoy your photography and not take it too seriously, and I really do stand by that. When I come out with my camera, I come out for the experience, not necessarily to get great photographs, and if I get great photographs, that is a bonus. And that's the way that I approach my photography, and I think it's a great way to be because it's a way of spending time in nature and just accepting whatever you get and enjoying the process. It's really hard to imagine now that this area here behind me, up until very recently, was an open cast coal mine. Now, back in 1988, the area was catastrophically flooded by the River Aire that runs alongside. And then in 2000, the area was opened up again for production, but it couldn't really be brought back into full production, so it was completely closed as a coal mine in 2002. And then in 2013 the RSPB took over management of the site and has brought about this lovely habitat now. Well, if this is your first time visiting the channel, you can do me a really big favour by clicking the like, subscribe and the bell notifications. Not only does it really help out the channel, but it makes sure that you don't miss out on any future photographic content. And also don't forget, I've got a Teespring store, so go and check out the merchandise. Well, the path has brought me to the edge of the river, but it doesn't look very river-like, as you can see behind me. I think it's either flooded the local area, which is a normal thing, or it's fairly high at the moment, which is unusual because there isn't still a lot of water about from our dry summer. But on this area of water here behind me, there's a whole load of birds. I've seen a little egret, a great egret, lots of lapwing, some cormorant, and I've managed to get some of the little egrets in flight as well. So it's been really quite a useful place. And what's even better is this area is slightly elevated, so you get a good view over the water. Well, I've had a great time stood here by this lake, as well as everything I've already mentioned. I've seen a grey heron to add to the photo count. The great egrets have been up in flight, as well as the lapwings, so I've got that. And then to cap it off, just to finish off this location nicely, the great egret took off and it flew really closely right over the top of this path here behind me. It's mornings like this that make wildlife photography really worthwhile. I just enjoy walking around somewhere new, seeing a different environment and seeing the birds out behaving naturally. Even though this is a managed site and it's been reclaimed from an industrial past, it still mimics a natural habitat because nature has started to take over again with a little bit of help from the RSPB, and the RSPB do a wonderful job. I'm a member and that gives me access to lots of sites, free parking and a newsletter every so often. And if you're interested in finding out about the RSPB, becoming a member, or just a site near where you live, then I'll put a link for the RSPB down in the description. The morning's really starting to warm up, so much so that I've had to take off my coat, and I'm at the far end of the nature reserve now, and behind me is the main lake. Now, somewhere over here, you might just about be able to make out the piece of machinery that we started the video by. Now, unfortunately, even though it's a big lake, there aren't that many birds to be seen, and the ones that there are very far away, so they're not really able to be photographed. Now, I did get a little bit excited because on this island just here I did get what I thought was an interesting sighting, but when I focused in on it, it turned out to be a rugby ball. Come across another really stunning location here. Again, it's by the side of the main lake, but over my left hand shoulder we've got really close access to lots of birds. So I've got some photographs of cormorant, and then on the water there are some Greylag Geese and some Canada geese. I've had flybys of all of those. I've also just seen a kingfisher dart past as well. Now I wasn't ready for it and it was quite close to the bank, but it definitely was a kingfisher because of its iridescent bright blue as it flew past. So that was a nice bonus. Even though I didn't photograph it, it's great to see it. Well, I've had a great morning here at St Aidan's, and so what I'll do is I'll leave you with my best photographs from the morning, and don't forget to stay tuned to the end of the video to see my very favourite. Still getting great views of the main lake, but I'm nearly back at the car park, so this is about time to end the video. But I have got some great photographs this morning. I've really enjoyed myself. I've had some really interesting sightings of lots of different kind of birds as well. So what I'll do is I'll show you my favourite photograph of the morning now. The photograph that I've chosen as my favourite of the morning is slightly unorthodox, and it's a photograph of a wood pigeon, but it was the first one that I took this morning, and it was sat on the cables of the coal mining machinery that we saw at the beginning of the video. And I just like the graphic quality of the silhouettes of the cables just framing the bird as you see it through the gaps in the cables, and it stood out as just something different from everything else that I took during the morning. If you have enjoyed this video, I'll link another one just up here where I talk about why I enjoy my photography. You can do me a really big favour by clicking the like, subscribe and the bell notifications. If you want to leave me a comment, you can do that down below or at my Instagram, Facebook or Vero account. But all that's left now is to say, stay safe and I'll see you soon.